What's going on, everybody? So now that the football season is here, I can officially say that we will now have Browns After Dark Sunday night, Monday night, and if that is not enough for you, we got another one on Thursday. So if you've ever said to yourself, hey, I wonder where I can meet with people and talk about the Browns, that is the place for you. Check us out at Browns After Dark on Twitter. The link will be in the description down below. Times will also be posted on that Twitter page, so be sure to give us a follow, turn on your notifications, and come let us know what you think. We want to know your thoughts, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Starting off the podcast, don't mean to start off on an unhappy note. The situation that happened last night, it's a very unfortunate one. And before I get into my thoughts, Tristan, obviously this is something a tough subject to talk about, but just kind of walk me through what your thoughts are on this, what your kind of just general feeling about the situation. Obviously I'm sure you don't feel great, as nobody does,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
um just kind of a surreal moment in the game of football that we love. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's the reality of the sport, and it's the ugly side of the sport. Um, Oftentimes when we talk about the risks associated with football, um, everybody points to concussions, which rightfully so. Concussions are terrible, and in the long run, what CTE does for people, it's terrible. But one of the things that isn't talked about is the risks, like what happened with Damar Hamlin. Um, it's incredibly scary. Um, it's incredibly sad knowing that he's probably one of the world's most in shape people, and he suffered cardiac arrest, and it's because of the sport, and it'll never seem fair. It'll never seem right. Um, and we're all about wanting to enjoy the sport and having it be safe, but it's part of the risk. And I sure hope he's doing okay. I sure hope that he's able to continue to push through and um, continue to get better. You know, uh, this doesn't mean his career is over. If I mean, that's the least of our concerns right now. But for those of you who are wondering about his career, this does not mean it's over. Christian Eriksen, uh, don't know how much of you guys are big soccer fans, but I am. Uh, he fell over a similar situation at the Euros for Denmark, and he's playing for Manchester United, and he's making a recovery. So it's possible for him to make a full recovery, but I think the big thing is hoping that he's able to make it through this, and wishing the best for him and his family, wishing him to return to good health is the most important thing. Um, yeah, man, it was tough watching. It was tough watching it. Really, it was. But I'm really happy he was able to get the medical care that he deserved, and also incredibly happy that his charity people
Hmm.
have been trying to find ways to help and have absolutely gone off the rails with helping him out and um, donating to his charity, and that's such an amazing thing, and it was really cool to see that. I really hope that I really really hope that this guy can make it through this, because it's obviously very scary, and wish the best for his family.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I wasn't able to watch the game live, and kind of glad I didn't, because when you watch something live like that, you really don't know. Um, for him, it's two things. My first kind of emotions were obviously, oh my gosh, I hope to God that this dude's all right, because um, it's scary, and it's like you said, Tristan. It's the reality with sports in general. Uh-oh, what'd you do?
Sorry, I almost knocked something over. I apologize.
No, you're good. But it's a reality with sports in general. You sign up for, an unfortunate risk, and it's kind of the price you pay to do what you love. Now does that mean that you're going to go through, something this severe? No. But there's countless examples of just things going wrong, and just at times you can be caught in a bad spot. And for Hamlin, it was just a very unfortunate situation to where it wasn't like he got hit really hard. It wasn't like he did anything himself. It was just that heart issue. Um, and obviously, it's terrifying for the fans. It's terrifying for everybody who is in attendance. The rosters for both teams to have to watch that live. And his parents being there, his mom being there. And I really, really feel bad for T. Higgins of the Cincinnati Bengals because listen, people online are psychopaths. They're crazy. They are idiots, heartless, a lot of people. Now, there's a lot of great people, and the great people are the ones you talked about who have donated to Hamlin's charity and just kind of reaching out and seeing if there's anything you can do because you're kind of helpless, right? It's not like this is your friend or this is somebody who you watch play football, but the reality is they are human beings, right? And that's kind of the narrative that is lost as far as like public figures, whether if it be celebrities, athletes, politicians, like just anybody who's in the public figure. People forget these are real human beings, and for Hamlin, it's kind of you got to take things out of it. You cannot look at it as, "Hey, this is an NFL game that I paid to watch," or "Oh, I put a bet on this game," or "I was in the fantasy championship." None of that matters. And it's unfortunate that the first thing you see on Twitter is a lot of people coming out saying, "How can they not play this game? This is such a huge game." And, all of these things. And it's like, listen, a man almost just lost his life on an NFL football field, and the fact that there were people, campaigning for this game to continue to be played is unbelievable to me. Um, and it's sad because public figures who get paid to talk about this stuff, by stuff, I mean, obviously the games and everything, like Skip Bayless, listen, for you guys who consume a lot of sports media, you got to understand a lot of it is just ratings. People are going to say stuff to get reactions. Understanding that, I don't I don't get why Skip Bayless would go this far. I understand, a lot of things that he does is to draw a reaction and to try to draw public opinion on something that, you say. That's what a lot of sports media is. But time and place is everything. I mean, for anybody last night to be saying anything other than the game shouldn't be played and they got to figure this out, like, shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. Nobody cares about your bets. Nobody cares about your fantasy football championship. I was in a championship game. I had Joe Burrow. Do you think I care at all? No, I don't. Because there's more to life than just a game. And I think obviously, prayers for Hamlin and his family, and just hope that he has, a quick recovery, whether if it means he plays again or not. That's not the point. The point is that he gets to live the rest of his life. Um, and for me, prayers to T. Higgins, because how you can mentally deal with that. How can you step foot on an NFL field again and not feel like something can happen again? It's just a very freak thing. And I know a lot of people are doing their public service of saying, all these things about prayers for the families and all that. I don't know about you, but like I mean it. Like, you literally, these people deserve this. They deserve, the help that you can give. So listen, if you can't give money to the charity, say a quick prayer for them. Like, it's not hard. And a lot of people love to talk, but when it comes to action, they don't really do it. So I hope, situations like this move people. It certainly, I had a pit in my stomach for a long time after, seeing that happen, not knowing if he was going to make it, and he's still with us, thank God. But, it's just a unfortunate situation. So, listen, Tristan, I know you're obviously like me, wishing him the best and hoping he gets back, but let this be a lesson, kind of to everybody. You know, it, again, it wasn't like he was hit hard. It wasn't like he did anything wrong. It's just kind of a freak thing. So appreciate every opportunity you get on this earth. You know, it's hard, but not every moment's guaranteed. And I think a lot of people forget that, including myself. So, obviously, good things can come out of bad situations. I think this is going to build a stronger relationship, hopefully with the teammates and kind of the NFL as a whole. I think that's a really good thing. And last thing I want to say before we get off this subject and move on, shame on the NFL for trying to have them finish that game. Shame on the NFL. They can try to deny it all they want. But it took Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor basically saying, we're not doing this. And they took their team to the locker room. Shame on Roger Goodell and shame on the NFL for not understanding the moment and the situation. Very disappointing. And it's just another example of the fact that the NFL does not care about what we just talked about, the human beings, that these are real people with beating hearts. Like, it's just very disappointing. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that I even have to say that. But Tristan, the NFL, I mean, we've seen countless examples of this, and it's pretty sad.
Well, this year in general, you know, the NFL's just revealed what we've known about them the whole time, a lot this year. I mean, it took Tua's injury and Tua's situation to affect change, right? Um, this situation where they there was no way in hell that game should have continued. There's no way. Um, and yeah, the fact that they were trying to have the players like, oh, just warm up and play. Like, no, you don't do that after that situation. Um, it's just like, honestly, I would love to say I'm surprised and shocked, but I'm not.
Unfortunately,
Just
yeah.
you can't fake apathy. Um, and these guys have never shown apathy, never shown remorse. Um, you know, like it's just like it, I'm stumbling over my words because it's hard to find the words to say for how disappointed and upset I am.
Mhm.
I mean, like these guys, man, like somebody almost lost their life on a football field, and the first thing you're thinking of is let's continue this game. Like, gosh, oh my gosh, like what are you doing? Oh my, like no. So yeah, big respect to Sean McDermott and big respect to Zach Taylor for that because it was ridiculous that the NFL tried to do this, and the NFL's
Mhm.
been doing bull crap like this for years, and I'm glad they got it stuck to them last night because
Mhm.
this was not the right time to be worried about your checkbook. It really was not. It
Exactly.
really was not, especially after they just announced that they're signing a $2 billion deal with YouTube
Mhm.
TV for Sunday ticket. Like you need money right now. Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, it's just greed. It's just greed. It's disgusting, really. Um, the NFL's always been reactive and never proactive, and it's the reason that it's going to take a while, but I feel like football is going to fade away in this country. I really do. Because there are organizations and there are leagues that are running themselves better than the NFL is. And, you know, football is always going to be popular in this country. That's no doubt. But the guys that are running it right now are not doing it justice.
Yeah.
They really are doing a terrible job.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. And last thing, I know I said last thing before, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say shout out to the Bengals fans who were nothing but respectful, I should say. Obviously with us being a Browns podcast, it's easy to, try to throw shots and, with the rivalry and stuff. But listen, for an opposing team to an opposing fan base, I should say, to handle it how they did. I felt like the fans were very understanding of the situation. I thought they did a good job. And second point to that, the medical team to get out there as quickly as they did, understand the situation and handle it the best they could is a testament, to the fact that he's still with us today. So very, very, I guess not proud, but you get what I'm saying. Very
Yeah,
enthused about that. That's a great thing, and a lot of people aren't saying that. They're not, kind of recognizing the fact that that medical staff got out there, got that ambulance on the field, and made sure that he was surrounded, right? And it wasn't like the camera was on this poor man, and for me, that was I'm glad that's how it kind of happened, obviously.
yeah. In we all turn to football for an escape. In that moment, there's no escaping that moment, and
Yeah.
you have to realize it. And you have to just say, okay, let's just set up shop for the night. And Bengals fans understood it. They felt it, uh, and they showed what the NFL didn't, and that was apathy.
Mhm.
So yeah, they could have very well easily just said, "Oh no, we should be playing this football game." But they didn't. They didn't.
Mhm.
Everybody was understanding and respectful, other than the organization that ran this whole thing. But
Yeah,
other
exactly.
than that,
But
other than that, w-
other
uh,
than that,
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, there's no easy heel turn out of this or transition out of this, but we have to because this is Brown's podcast.